And Michigan's just recovered a fumble. First play of the fourth quarter. Back to something more akin to the first half run strategy from Michigan. This is an insert zone, much less ISO than what you saw in the first half. So first half, you would see the tight end insert on the same side. Here he's actually wrapping, so inserting across the formation. Tight end can work out to the cornerback. Left tackle does a really nice job reaching, kicking out, and then driving, so finishing this defensive end, widening that gap. Good double team combo block between the left guard and center, moves the nose to this kind of backside linebacker. And this is what I think Michigan wanted to pick on in the run game, was the safety run fits. So these guys are aggressive against the nub formation, but here he misfits it because you're going to see him insert. You're going to see the linebacker's hat go inside. Safety is playing outside gap. That allows the running back to step up and through. And it's the middle safety that eventually brings him down at about 7 yards. Okay, really good job by the left tackle here, getting him and then rooting him backwards. I mean, that's 2 yards of movement, and still has his ass on the inside for the running back to follow. Combo block gets good initial movement. They do lose the nose tackle. See, that's really good initial movement, but I'd like those hands a little bit lower on the hip to really shove him down onto the center because he's able to fight back. That's something I saw a lot on film from the nose tackle. He does a great job fighting back after the combo leaves. That squeezes down the gap a little bit, but you can see the running back squirt through. Without it, he might be able to make a move on the middle safety, though, because, again, this safety is taking himself out of the play because he fit it wrong. I think that's how Michigan wanted to attack in the run game. They did end up going to a lot of pin and pull, but struggled with that. You know, pre-game, I thought pin and pull was going to be the answer. More of those outside runs off the edge towards the C gap. Michigan really wanted the B gap runs, and I think this was their plan, or the intent in the run game was to make the safeties that had to enter the fit wrong. Here's an example of it. Michigan's going to run a push motion, fake screen, reverse. So Michigan, remember, they ran this for a touchdown earlier where they had the push motion, read, and then quarterback counter. So they're iterating off of that formation into boundary, so you're going to get 4 strong. Watch the reaction of the defense and this linebacker. They all react strong to that push motion. See, he's cheating this way. He's cheating down. He's gone. So they're all gone. Other linebackers, what do they expect? They expect Q run, right? So what did they run off of that push motion or bash action? Was counter. Well, watch the right tackle and the right guard. They're going to fake a combo block, fake the combo block, seal it. So the right tackle is going to fake down, sift vertical, cut off the linebacker. He's going to fake with that power step into the defensive end and then reach and seal. So it gets him, look at his hands. See the defensive end? See how he's leaning? He's got his hands. He's ready for contact. He's trying to take on that double team. Gets him off balance. Good seal. Good seal. Now the fullback is wrapping, just as he would wrap on counter, by the way. But he's wrapping to the play side. Now everybody's blocked up. You got your fastest guy out in space. Touchdown. So great job iterating off of what they did with that push motion and the screen and the quarterback run. Here with the reverse. Touchdown. All right, Michigan down 3, 2nd and 7, got TCU on the heels. They want to put the nail in the coffin. TCU goes empty. Michigan responds with a cover 1, 5-man pressure. So what does that mean? They're going to bring the linebacker off the edge. They're bringing 5. They have 1 deep safety, and then they're just matched up man across the board. TCU is going to run the knife concept, so similar to what Michigan had run. So recall Michigan ran a corner route with a slant underneath it. Now you get a little bit tighter coverage. You get signs of man. So this corner route, or sometimes teams will just run it this way. You can read the coverage or you can just run it. We'll run a slot fade. The benefit of the slot fade, especially against man coverage, is it sets a downfield rub. And so you see this guy get rubbed by the concept and he comes open, right? The slant comes open. That's good separation right there. And so he's open, probably gets tackled on the catch, but probably a first down. But the pressure gets home. Watch the end work inside to the guard. Guard not prepared for it in his stance. Gets him into his body. He gets pushed right back into the quarterback's lap. Hand up, knockdown. 3rd and 7. What's really important or imperative about this sets the tone for the third down play. And the third down play is going to go TCU's way in a big way. 3rd and 7, TCU goes with a shallow screen, also known as a drag screen versus cover 0. It's a perfect call. Little hit him with the hezzy there. Missed tackle, gone. Touchdown. So let's take a closer look. So Michigan is tipping pressure pre-snap. So TCU has some confidence in their call. What's tipping the pressure? Well, this guy does, but late. So that's really not what's tipping the call. What's tipping the call is this guy up at the line of scrimmage. Why? Because versus the stack formation, you're rarely going to have 2 on the line of scrimmage like that. Why does TCU run the stack? Well, the real reason they're running the stack is it makes it very hard to redirect this guy. He's going to get a free release. So he gets a free path to the far side of the field. There are ways that you can maybe redirect him a little bit better, such as running top hat. Top hat is a coverage where the point man is actually going to take the underneath guy, and he's going to take the point man. But even then, it's difficult. What you're going to see is this guy actually crack block. So he's going to crack block on the coverage. Michigan actually does a really nice job. This guy is going to exchange. You're going to see the crack block. There's the crack block on the man coverage. Really deep in trail. Too far in trail. Needs to stay tighter to him to make that crack block harder. But against 0, it's hard to stay that tight, right? But you can see he actually does a really nice job exchanging that, just like a crack exchange, right? When a wide receiver cracks down on a linebacker and then the cornerback has to step up and set the edge, does just that. But then he just falls for the hezzy there. You can't fall for the hezzy there. You can't shallow that angle. You have to make sure you force it back in to help slow him down, because the big mistake you can have is not slowing him down, right? Michigan versus Ohio State. You don't slow him down. You don't let help get there, right? You can't allow him just a free path. Now let's look at the pressure. This is an interesting pressure from 0. They're going to send the free safety, the nickel. They're also going to loop inside to the A gaps. He's in a green dog, so he's in coverage on the running back, and then he inserts. TCU does a really nice job picking up the core of it. They allow the free safety. The center's trying to work out to the free safety, doesn't get there, but the quarterback does a great job just buying time, retreat in the pocket, buy time, get it out there. It's behind the line of scrimmage so they can block downfield, and it's a touchdown. Not that it makes a huge difference, but let's watch this pass protection here because it's very interesting. So you got the mugged up linebacker. Safety starts on him. As soon as he delays, he works all the way out to the free safety. He doesn't really get there, but just enough maybe with the hands to keep him out of the quarterback's face, right? He keeps his hands down maybe. Really nice pickup here on the left side between the left tackle and left guard. Watch him try to run the pick here, and he's going to loop back inside. Gets in between both of them, right? Trying to split the two of them, hold him inside, have him go inside, but watch him just, nice job getting some depth there, and then him getting back. And now they've formed that nice pocket to prevent that interior pressure from getting there. But pressure gets there pretty fast. It's really the quarterback makes a nice play. Look at the arm angle to get it around the pressure, right? He has to sling it kind of sidearm, a little bit low to the side, and then it's just a play by the wide receiver to hit that hezzy, make the missed tackle. You're also going to get a really nice block downfield. You don't see it here too well, but right in the middle of the field, you get a pancake by a wide receiver. That's probably what changes this into a touchdown, or at least an easy touchdown. He probably would have had to break one more if not for that block downfield. 1st and 10 Michigan, they're going to run dart read here. Get 2 front side doubles for the run. Nice call versus 3-3 stack. So what are you getting? So remember I've said Michigan has had trouble when they don't have a defined read on the line of scrimmage. On the line of scrimmage makes it a little bit easier because a defensive end needs to react relatively quickly, right? If they're going to crash on the running back, they got to go. If they're going to set up against the quarterback, it makes it hard to have a gray read, whereas linebackers or people coming from depth can delay their response a little bit more, right? It's easier for them to dictate the response and play both ways. But with dart read, he's pulling, right? They have 6 defenders in the box for 6 blockers. Now they're going to drop a linebacker in or a safety in as well. But because of this pull, this linebacker is going to have to respond relatively quickly. And so what you get is with this tackle pull, he responds quickly. He's gone. That's the read. Quarterback pulls and gets into the second level, tackled by the safety, but a nice 6-yard gain. Another nice thing about Dart against kind of these odd fronts is you're going to get 2 front side doubles. So tight end, left tackle, double on the front side defensive end to the Mike. Then the left guard and the center can double through the nose to really get good push. And you'd like them to climb, but they don't necessarily need to because this is the read defender. Then he's going to wrap to the front side linebacker. So you equate numbers. And you can generally get good first level push. And despite there being a safety that's going to be unblocked, he's coming from depth with theoretically a lot of space to cover because you're getting that good front side push. And so you probably could have a successful run play here. You're going to see 90 make an appearance. He does a good job splitting that double team. That's a really good job splitting the double team. But the read is clear for the quarterback. The linebacker, backside linebacker chases. Safety does step up, but it's a nice little 6-7 yard gain on first down. So here's the power of what you can do out of a 3-high defense. So everything's covered here. There's nothing open. He can check down to the running back early. If he gets there, he gets called for an intentional grounding, pushes Michigan back. But what Michigan had been getting from this is kind of coverage here, basically man coverage across the board, right? Whether it's a cover 4 look or whatever else. But they're getting the matchup they want between number 3 running this corner. So he can win to the outside because he can threaten a 2-way go at the point at the top of the route versus man coverage, and he can win to the corner. And they've been hitting that. So they've run 7 ins. They've run versions of smash, things of that nature. But this time what TCU does instead is they man up here on him. And then instead of manning up, they're going to run kind of a cover 4 look here where he's going to take underneath. So there's this little whip route, and then they have a bracket on number 3 going vertical. So he wants this number 3 going vertical, but he doesn't get it because as soon as he pushes vertical, that safety, that outside safety isn't coming down on this whip route. He's bracketing the corner out, so TCU has that killed. So they can be very multiple in coverage there. Now, I do think you have a matchup win right here, right? Stick your foot in the ground, go, go, go. You can hit that because that's versus a linebacker, or he can work back here early and make a play, get a gain and get a first down, keep things going. But he gets stuck on there because he's just not comfortable with what he's seeing. By the time he looks back, this defensive end has split this double team and got pressure in his face. So that's the power of what you can do out of this 3 down. You can drop into various kind of coverages, get into drop 8, even on standard downs, confuse the quarterback, force throwaways, force him to stay in the pocket, read the coverage, and go from there. All right, 3rd and 16. Michigan has 2 first downs on this play, but they can't execute because the pressure gets home. So really poor job by the offensive line here. So what do they do? So TCU's in 2-man. So they got 2 deep, right? And then you see them follow them in coverage. So it's man underneath, 2 high. You got what you're looking for. Michigan runs a levels concept. Now, this guy's going to push vertical on his bender to clear out the middle of the field. This motion guy is going to turn wheel up. That's going to get him to work over the top, but he's actually going to run about a 16-yard dig. And he's wide open. You're not going to see it here, but the motion comes across. He's late because he doesn't have position on him, and he's wide open. So you want to play trail to the outside in 2 under, right? Trail and underneath, and he's inside and off. So he's in a tough position in man under. So that dig comes wide open. The other route that comes wide open is this drive route, who gets a natural rub from him pushing vertical through the middle and him working this little underneath route. Right, so there's 2 rubs, pushes him way deep, about 12 yards deep, and he's open. He's going to be able to catch the ball, turn it up on the corner, and probably get a first down as well. However, the offensive line breaks down. I don't think they have the call right. He works away. He tries to push through the B gap to pop contain. This is just a little delayed blitz. He's going to stack that defensive end, read the protection, and then take the clearest path. So he gets a clear read and pushes through. But his eyes drop. See how his eyes drop? His eyes are still on the linebacker level, but his eyes have dropped. He needs to shove him onto that tackle, keep eyes on the linebacker, and then pop out. Center does see it late, but this is not the center's man. This is not, right? This is not the center's land. He does push it onto the left guard and sees it late, comes back, but I do not believe that is the center's guy. I think the right guard makes a mistake here, locks on him because of this initial move. Watch the initial move inside. Initial move inside, gets him to lock, drops his eyes, misses the linebacker. Pressure gets home. He's forced to throw it away. Should be a first down. You should be able to pick up a 4-man pressure with 5, but they don't. Here's a slightly better view. Here's the motion man going across. You're going to see him come back open because he's in bad position. Drive, that's wide open, right at the first down marker. And you can see how in poor position this guy is in his trail. See, because see how deep of a path he has to take because of all the wash. So he's going to be able to catch the ball, turn it up, unless the safety can get home. 1st and 10 after a big punt return, high red zone. TCU likes to go zone read. Michigan has a nice call, 1 cheat. So this is cover 1. So you got man coverage. It's not cover 2, it's cover 1. So they're not blitzing here, right? So he's in what is called a cheat technique. So he's lined up about 8 to 10 yards off the line of scrimmage. In pass, he will stay in that cheat technique and help cancel out kind of any shallow crossers and things of that nature. But most importantly, he's there in position to read the quarterback and make a play on the quarterback run. Remember against Penn State ran a zone read on a 3rd and short that went for a long run. So Michigan canceled gaps behind the line of scrimmage with the defensive end, tackled, but then the left tackle made a really nice play and made a block on the linebacker, right? So same thing happens here, pushes him, quarterback cuts inside, but now the safety is there to support. So this is a good job by the left tackle, right? Because the left tackle is supposed to keep the defensive end free. He sees his target, the linebacker, disappear on the exchange. So he works back to him to help his quarterback. Quarterback cuts inside, but because of that cheat technique, the free safety is there to make a play, and it's only a 1-yard gain. So this is just equating numbers with that cheat technique and the free safety getting involved in the quarterback run. Right? And if he gives, he can't give because this guy's chasing down the line of scrimmage, canceling gaps behind the line of scrimmage. He's going to tackle the running back at the mesh point. So it's a clear read for the quarterback. He has to give. There's nothing there for the running back. Tackle tries to save the play, but the safety is involved because of that cheat technique. 2nd and 10, you can tell Michigan's quarterback is he's not trusting his reads. He's really held the ball too long. And so Michigan goes back to a concept they've already run 3 times with high success. And what they're doing is, again, they're picking on this safety with the corner route. So again, it's the snag knife concept. He's going to slant till he can't. He's going to work the corner route, and that corner route's been open pretty much every single time. But watch how much leverage this safety gains. He's backpedaling. He's staying wide. He knows he has inside help. He is not going to allow himself to get beat on the corner route. And the quarterback sees it quickly. So you see a quarterback that's struggling to go to a concept he's comfortable with. He gets the ball out quick, hits it right underneath. It's going to be 3rd and 3, and the tight end drops it. So you're trying to gain your quarterback confidence by getting back to a concept that he's comfortable with. The only difference with this concept is they exchanged the tight end and the running back. So the running back had been this check release and the tight end crossing, or the tight end on this side. Here they exchange it, so it's the running back running across to this side, the tight end with that little check down. And the quarterback quickly moves off this corner route, right? That's where they want, but he sees it's 3 high, so now that smash isn't there. He quickly moves back over to this side where they want 3 high, has the check down. It should be 3rd and 5, 3rd and 3-ish, and just a drop. And these are the plays that you can't have when you're trying to come back from 13 down. All right, I like when 2 totally different style teams run the same play. Odd front from Michigan, so they run basically the bash play, but with orbit motion, Q, counter OT. So, instead of the bash path, you get a soft edge, so you run the orbit. It helps define the linebacker read. Linebacker goes, you run the quarterback counter OT. So guard kicks the edge, tackle wraps to the front side linebacker. Now I think the running back goes the wrong way here. So you can run it with Bash with the running back. You can run traditional counter OT, right? Back when it was run by the Washington Redskins in like the 80s, you would have a back block the backside, right? To make it so someone on the edge can't scream down the line of scrimmage. You would have that guy blocked. But they don't need the running back to do that with the soft edge and with the read element implemented. So I think he goes the wrong way, which is critical because 32 is going to do a nice job really denting that kick block. He doesn't win the play, but he constricts the gap. The tight end does a good job initially washing this defensive tackle down. Watch him punch through the hip, really shove that hip. He gets him down inside, but then his footwork gets tripped up and he falls. So that's not great. So the backer, the puller needs to pick him up. But then you can see where that missing lead blocker hurts because now there's two defensive backs in the play as well, and he gets honed down for only a 2-yard gain. 3rd and 3, Michigan just made a really nice tackle to force the 3rd down attempt. Going to get a double screen from TCU. Good call against a pressure look from Michigan, so it's a 5-man cover 1 pressure look for Michigan again. And the pressure actually hurts TCU here because their blocking scheme fails. So what you get is you get a tunnel screen here. It's more of a now screen, right? So your now screen is fast. Your traditional screen is the slow screen. So you look here first to the slow screen second. Well, the slow screen is supposed to have offensive linemen out in front of it. If the defense is static, say in the 4-2 look, this wide receiver is actually going to crack down on the linebacker, and this tackle is going to release to the alley, and then there should be somebody releasing and blocking back to the inside for pursuit. And what happens is you see Michigan gets into a 5-1 look. They bring the linebacker. This guy thinks, well, I'm already on the linebacker, so he just stays locked. You're going to see him start to work inside, but see his man disappear. So then he just works back up here, but nobody releases a lineman and loops back onto the linebacker. And the linebacker in man coverage gets on his horse and makes a big tackle short of the sticks. But that guy needs to be blocked here. Right? So traditionally, he's going to crack down. Tackle will pass set, then release here, and probably the guard who is uncovered or the center, depending on how they want to call this, will actually loop back and clean up anything from inside out, including the man coverage guy. And so with 4 going, right, there's 5 blockers. Someone can release and make the block, and no one does. All 4 stay in, so it's a miscommunication on TCU's part that allows the linebacker to make a really nice play, get to the feet, prevent yak, 4th down, punting time. So TCU's been really passive most of this half, and finally they have enough of it. Bring 6, and TCU rarely brought more than 5, usually only brought 4. Love to play coverage in this game. So this is going to be a halfback corner route. And so it's a flood concept. He's going to push to the post. He's going to push to the flat. Then you're going to get your running back matched up on a linebacker out of the backfield who's going to run the corner. That's where this route is designed to go. But with the pressure, the running back actually gets matched up on the safety. So you're not so much getting the matchup that you want. And because of the scheme, you're also stuck with only 5 inside. So with the pressure, this ball has to come out hot. Right? So this is a play design. You confirm the post isn't open, and then you're really trying to hit that halfback on the corner route. I can post some other clips of it. Michigan ran this versus Ohio State last year on an interception. Also ran it for a touchdown versus Penn State where they actually hit the post. That's where Cade tried to hit it again against Ohio State on the interception. But it's really designed for the halfback corner route. Again, they just don't get the matchup really that they want. And with the 6-man pressure, first 5 blockers, it's got to come out hot. So he just doesn't confirm his hot, right? Because who's your hot? Well, this is the guy you can't account for. Right? There's nothing quick on this side. On the left side, there's nothing quick developing. This is the hot. Doesn't see it. Tries to fade to buy time. Almost throws an interception. So good timing to call a pressure from TCU as they really hadn't done it for most of the game, especially in the second half. All right. Sounds weird, but low-key, this is one of my favorite plays of the game. There's just over 3 minutes left. You're down 1 score. You have 3 timeouts. Now, they forced him to use a timeout originally with the onside kick formation, but they pin him deep. Now, there's two ways to do this, and you read the deep man, right? You come out with a look like you're going to onside kick it. You force these guys up, and depending on the deep man, you either pooch it right around the 30-yard line or you pooch it over his head. And because these guys are all playing forward, right? They're all playing forward on their heels. If the deep man is too far back and you pooch it right here, these guys can tend to run onto it. Worst case scenario, they get the ball around the 30-yard line, right? But you take a shot at recovering it that way. And the second way is if he's playing up to take away those corners, like he is here, so he's playing around the 25, so he can get to those. You just pop it right over his head with a lot of backspin. That's a really well-placed ball. It checks up. He feels he has to field it because, right, you can't just leave it on the ground. It's probably going in the end zone, but you can't take that risk. So he fields it, and now your team's down there in coverage. You pin them deep at about the 10-yard line. So low-key, you forced them to use a timeout, their last timeout of the half, and then you pinned them back deep, giving you a shot to get the ball back with good field position. So really nice low-key special teams play there. All right, I want to highlight this play because this is one of the plays that wins you a game that doesn't get highlighted. And it's a nice job by the offensive line and the running back. Because it is 2nd and 8, it doesn't look like there's a lot here. Michigan has a nickel pressure on. They have the fake jet sweep. You're going to see them arc both the linebacker or both tight ends. But Michigan has that pretty well, right? Nice job staying in his gap. He stays outside gap. He's there live. And you have a chance for, if you're Michigan here, to make a play. You got a guy for that gap. Fit it. Doesn't. The combo block gets movement, climbs right into the linebacker's lap. Running back makes the defensive tackle, miss the arm tackle, runs hard, gets it down to 3rd and 1. There was a lot of consternation. Why isn't Harbaugh calling his timeouts? He didn't call it on 1st down because he wanted him in his back pocket in case there was a new set of downs. But you don't call it on 3rd and 1 because most likely what you're doing is you're wasting that timeout, right? It's low likelihood you're going to prevent a conversion on 3rd and 1, and that's why he doesn't call the timeout here. So not only does TCU get in great position to convert on 3rd down, they ensure some clock gets run off because now the opponent doesn't want to call a timeout before a 3rd and 1 where a conversion is highly likely. All right, little things. Michigan actually sets up the return. I was a little surprised by this. I thought they would have gone for the block. Usually a pretty good blocking team, but must not have seen a weakness in it. Set up the return, and it's there if this block is made. Watch 17 in white get a great release. Wins clean off the line. Now, this is going to be critical because they have punt return right on his right shoulder, forces this gunner inside with an extra man outside. Look at all this grass over here. You have a blocker, a blocker, a blocker, a blocker. But he gets beat, and he makes the tackle. That's the difference, right? Because if he makes that block, right, the punters kind of get a little amped up in these situations, right? If he makes that block and he's back here, he has enough room to make that path. It's the right idea to set up the return. Better execution by TCU. That guy's excited. The girl's excited, but she's more like, oh boy, this is scary. Oh yeah, like holy shit. Oh yeah, oh, that's wild. Pass down, you're gonna get man under, 2-man under, right? 2 high safeties, man under. They run a little rub play, knife again. Here's a more traditional knife concept on the inside. So you run, right? He's going to push vertical, try to run off the safety, get a rub, slant underneath. Everything's vacated in the middle from 5 wide. He catches this ball, and he's running until safety tackles him, or maybe this guy tackles. But it's a 1st down. This is an area where a quarterback can make improvement. Right tackle just gets whooped here. Look at a little setup outside. Dip. Gets that shoulder real nice and skinny. Gets it low area to punch, but he just completely whiffs on the punch. Right? You got to shove him onto the guard. You got to give the guard some help here, right? Because he doesn't know this guy's looping yet. So it's delayed loop. So you got to get your hands on him, push him on, and then you can exchange it. But he just completely misses. He's in the face. But this is an area where I think the quarterback needs to understand the concept here. He can buy some time by backing up. It's a quick hitting man beater route. He has it as the hot. He can make that throw. I'd like to see him make that throw and not bail on the pocket. He does gain some yards, which is nice. Nice little 5-yard gain on first down. Not the worst thing in the world. At this point, gets out of bounds. But you could be talking, you're at the 45-yard line now. And getting that first down. That first down is always the hard one. You got to get that first down, and as you're going to see, Michigan doesn't get it here.